Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
We're going to begin at 5 with a Dearborn man facing ethnic intimidation charges for going on an anti-Semitic and racist rant outside an Oakland County synagogue. Glad you're with us on this Monday at 5. Today, 35-year-old Hassan Choker appeared in court and went off on the judge as he was arraigned on a number of charges stemming from the incident at Temple Beth-El.
Choker was given $1 million bond and a long string of restrictions if he's able to post it. Rod Maloney live at Temple Beth-El tonight. Rod, so as the judge read those restrictions is when he went off.
Yes, and it was interesting to see what and where he went off. You'd be thinking that $1 million bond would get your attention, but it was something else that got that. We'll see that in a second. But as you can well imagine, security out here is very tight. They're deeply concerned out here at Temple Beth-El about this incident that happened on Friday, but there has been drama all weekend that brought us to this. Shakur is under $1 million cash bond, which he doesn't have. Yet it was losing social media privileges setting him off.
Including but not limited to Instagram. You may not use or possess any weapon or firearm. There's to be no...
Charged with 2 felony counts of ethnic intimidation, Shakur claims that his arrest violates his freedom of speech, screaming,
"The way you're judging me, God's gonna judge you the same way."
Mr. Shakur, you're not helping yourself.
I don't care.
Shakur took and posted video of himself screaming at people at Temple Beth-El whether they support Israel and shouting, "Shame on you." Later, he recorded a Bloomfield Township police stop when the incident ended up reported. Temple Beth-El Rabbi Mark Miller told Local 4.
This was terrorizing for a lot of us, for those who were here.
The traffic stop video showed up on social media, giving many, including the rabbi, pause as to why he wasn't arrested then.
He said on video to the police officers, "I'm going to another synagogue." So it felt very threatening, and I guess I can't comment on how they work behind the scenes, but it looked very bad.
Bloomfield Township Police Chief John Gallagher told Local 4 these cases are tough to prove.
At the time, we did not have the information to meet the threshold of the ethnic intimidation that we, at that time, we needed to further that investigation, and part of that is making sure we positively identify the subject that was driving that van.
Now, Bloomfield Township Police are stepping up their patrols of not only this synagogue, but others and other facilities in the area to make sure something like this doesn't happen again anytime soon. There's so much to this story. For instance, it was Dearborn Police who actually picked up Shakur. They did that Saturday morning, brought him here Sunday. He was brought to the Oakland County Jail where he remains tonight. Shakur returns to court in 2 weeks. Reporting live in Bloomfield Township, Rod Maloney, Local 4.
Story we will continue to follow. Rod, thank you.
Our other top story tonight, new video emerging of drivers doing donuts around a ring of fire in the middle of the street. This happening as Detroit police officers look on. That video going viral tonight has a lot of people asking why police didn't do something, anything, to make it stop.
Priya Mann is live where it happened on 7 Mile and Greenfield tonight. Priya, that definitely isn't a side street.
No, that's right, Kim Devin. This is a very busy intersection, and at the time that it was effectively shut down, Detroit police say there were hundreds of spectators here. In fact, at one point, a man lights a ring of fire in the middle of the intersection, and take a look. We are just feet away from a gas station, and Detroit police were here. Video of a driver doing donuts on 7 Mile in Greenfield is now a major part of a police investigation. At one point, a man spreads gasoline in the middle of the intersection and lights a ring of fire. Several Detroit police officers were there as the chaos unfolded.
To avoid an incident of a high-speed chase and someone being injured or possibly killed, they did a job. They did a great job.
The first call came in at 12:26 Monday morning. Detroit police had the intersection cleared in 4 minutes.
Police got an accident over there.
A squad car was hit by a spectator leaving the scene. The woman was issued a citation.
The objective here is to disperse and disband the group safely, because we had experience before where cars have been pursued, people have been killed, accidents, maimed, so we don't want that, especially in the holiday season.
Commander Newsom says many drag racers and drifters are from the suburbs, and police have a message for those who come into Detroit and engage in reckless and dangerous behavior.
We have since identified the owner of the white Challenger. We're going to execute a search warrant at your home. We're going to take your vehicle. We're going to knock the hinges off your door and take you into custody for this.
And this mobile gas station is actually a green light location, so Detroit police have high-resolution video to work with, as well as those videos that are now going viral on social media. Again, this entire intersection shut down for about 4 minutes before Detroit police were able to clear it. And as you heard the commander say, they do know who they're looking for. We'll continue to follow this developing story. Reporting live on the west side, I'm Priya Mann, Local 4.
Incredible. Okay, Priya, thank you. Well, here within just the past 45 minutes or so, Michigan State Police have reopened the Southfield Freeway.
Southbound side was closed at 7 Mile as troopers investigated a felonious assault. MSP really not providing any further information other than that, though we can report that the Southfield Freeway is back open at this hour. Also here at 5, Mayor Duggan says he is ready to step in and use his emergency powers to fund Detroit's paratransit system.
This comes after City Council failed to approve a new expanded contract as the old contract expires at the end of the year. Sean Lay is live tonight, and the mayor blasting City Council in the process. Sean.
Absolutely blasting City Council. Look, guys, we have been following this very closely for Detroit's most vulnerable community, the disabled. We're talking about free rides provided to the disabled that they really need, but those rides were cut back when City Council voted this contract down. What Mayor Duggan is essentially saying is that he's going to veto what Council did back on November 22nd, and tonight he's calling Council dysfunctional. It was a Detroit City Council flip-flop that continues to have major repercussions. We first told you November 22nd, City Council voted to expand and improve its free ride system for Detroit's disabled. Then Council took a revote and voted down the $49 million deal. The city says that move actually cut 700 rides a day for Detroit's disabled to the doctor or to work. We also showed you just minutes after that vote, the U.S. Department of Transportation alerted the city that it is getting close to violating the Americans with Disabilities Act, opening up the city to fines and lawsuit because Detroit's most vulnerable could be left without the transportation they need.
I'm not going to let the disabled of the city be stranded January 1. I will be exercising emergency powers to put emergency contracts in place.
There's more. This new letter from the Department of Transportation urging the city and City Council to have a special session to fix this problem. Council voted down the transit deal, then went on a long holiday recess.
I have no explanation for how Council could turn down the contracts and go on vacation for 2 months and leave people stranded, but we'll take action before the end of the week on an emergency basis.
So the mayor putting it there, he's going to fully fund now, starting January 1st, the rides for the disabled. Those who voted against it on council said the contract was really too long to an underperforming vendor. City administration said they were going to take a lot of the details and put it under DDOT and make the service much better. But in voting it down, guys, you heard it limited rides. It wasn't fully funding the ride service. And the mayor says he is not going to risk not getting federal funding. Feds may pull some funding if they don't get this done. Back to you.
We'll see how it all plays out. Sean, we appreciate it.
State is taking more action against the Stellantis Mack assembly plant on Detroit's east side. Department of Environment, Great Lakes and Energy added another $10,000 to the automaker's fine after a new air quality violation. Plant's been issued several violations in the year since it expanded because neighbors have continually complained about paint and chemical odors coming from the plant. Stellantis now owes more than $136,000 to the state. As rents rise across the board, the need for affordable housing is only going to get greater.
And today, developers and the city took the wraps off newly remodeled apartments in a place where they're definitely needed. Jason Colthorpe was at today's announcement and joins us here in the studio with more. Jason.
Yeah, guys, they're needed because just down the street in the Hubbard Farms area, you'll find property values have jumped, which means rents have too.
There's no more enjoyable event than like today, where we're reopening 40 affordable units.
Detroit's latest efforts to preserve affordable housing are the Savannah and the Wilshire, identical 96-year-old buildings on the outside and just a few blocks apart in the Hubbard Farms neighborhood in Southwest. Each has 20 apartments between $783 and $1,200 a month.
This is the kind of apartment building that in many other cities would have seen the rents explode and the longtime residents be pushed out.
Now it's time to cut the rip.
The city housing department secured state housing loans and tax credits to be able to get rent levels down and lock them in place for the next 50 years.
This is what you hope happens in a city. Property values in the city have doubled or tripled in the last 6 to 8 years, and that means a lot of folks who were renting houses are feeling upward pressure.
Everything here is new, like the countertops, the sink.
Teresa Riley was in the Savannah on West Lafayette before the renovations and likes what she's coming back to.
The best part of this building to me, the historical part, are the structure of these windows, and I like how they open. If you notice, they open like this.
Crews are still working on the Savannah, but after almost 2 years of waiting, Teresa should be able to move back in just before Christmas, and she says it was worth the wait.
I really think that historical buildings that's in the city of Detroit should be renovated. We should keep those things around.
By the mayor's count now, this makes 7,000 units in the city that have been preserved or created, and the plan is for more, and he said immediately, they need it as quick as they can get it.
Just lovely buildings.
That's what I was just saying.
Right?
Yeah, I love the architecture.
Almost identical.
Yeah,
to
yeah, gorgeous. Yeah.
All right, Jason.